Former Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger takes a massive shot at the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, saying that the Steeler way on offense might be over. So, Big Ben, he basically was talking on his podcast, Footballing with Ben, about the Steelers offense and its struggles, and he's saying that there's a Steeler way on defense, and everyone knows it. It's still alive, and it's still in that locker room because there's leaders to transform it and to pass it along. But on the offensive side of the ball, the Steeler way might be over because no one in the locker room is basically grabbing someone by their face mask and telling them this is not what we do, this is not the Steeler way, and there's no one to really pass it down and no one to kind of transform it to the next level and pass it to generation anymore. So we look at that, and Big Ben, he's been taking some heat from the media, from Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Michael Irvin, and all those guys who are in the news kind of talking on the daily shows about football and just about sports in general. He's been taking some heat, and many of the Steelers players actually had to respond about Big Ben's comments because the media was asking them about it in their press conference. For example, Najee Harris and Cameron Heyward, both those people had to respond about Big Ben's comments. So, like I said, Big Ben was talking about how the Steeler way might be finished and over for the Steelers offense because there's no one there who are veterans who has been there from the previous teams, and there's no one there to pass that along for the offense. And he was kind of the last kind of going of that notion, of that motion, with alongside David Castro, Marquise Pouncey, and the guys on the offensive line who are now also gone. So you look at his comments, that's basically what he said. In yesterday's video, I cover it more in depth. If you want to know what he actually said, go watch the previous video from yesterday. I go over his quotes that he said, but ever since that, he's been taking some heat and many players had to respond. For example, let me just start off with the players personally responding to him. Cameron Heyward, he went on Good Morning Football, and he basically implied that he does not agree with his comments and he does not stand with what he says. He has his own opinion. He's kind of entitled to his own opinion, but it's not right. The Steelers' way is still there, and the Steelers' way is to grind it out no matter what. And Cameron Heyward still believes that is there. Najee Harris responded in a different way. He basically responded by saying, I haven't been here for too long. I was here in Big Ben's final year, and he kind of showed the way, and he was kind of the leader for us. Big Ben was here when Jerome Bettis was around, when Troy Polamalu was around, when all those past guys was around. So he knows the Steeler way better than I do. So he's basically saying that he knows what it is to be a Steeler and what the Steeler way is more than what Najee Harris knows. And if he thinks that it's gone, maybe it is. It's not up to him. He has his own opinion, and Najee Harris doesn't really understand. Maybe if it's gone, maybe it's not. He's just there to play football and stuff like that. Well, that's basically what I got out of what his message was based off what he said. But another person in the media who was actually talking about the Steeler way not too long ago, Ryan Clark, former Pittsburgh Steelers safety, he was actually on ESPN, and he was talking about the Steeler way, and he said a while back that he doesn't know if it exists anymore outside of Minkah Fitzpatrick, Cameron Heyward, and TJ Watt. He was basically talking not too long ago about how those three guys are carrying along the Steeler way, but he's not sure outside of those guys if it still exists. And no one gave him anything for that. No one talked about him, about being kind of petty about leaving the Steelers, so their pettiness and how the Steeler way is still there. No one said anything about him saying those comments. But that's basically what Big Ben said just this week, Monday, on this podcast, basically saying that TJ Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, those guys are still carrying along the Steeler way for the defense, but the offense doesn't have those guys anymore to carry it along. But then when Big Ben said that, everything blew up. All the media outlets, all those people started covering it and talking crap about Big Ben, like Stephen A. Smith. He went off on Big Ben on ESPN yesterday when he was talking about saying how Big Ben is the reason why the tradition for the Steelers and the Steeler way is completely finished on the offense, and saying that he's part of the reason why, because he stayed too long, he stayed an extra 2 years, he should have been gone way before, and how he kind of transformed it because he wanted to be stubborn and be a stubborn player and stuff like that, and how he didn't really help the Steelers in any way late towards the end of his career, so he kind of transformed that group into being Steeler way is gone now, and basically saying Big Ben is the reason why it is gone. And then you have Michael Irvin basically saying how Mike Tomlin, he's still the head coach of your team. How can you say that? Mike Tomlin does a great job. This team is still solid and stuff like that. He didn't really go much into depth of what he actually said, but basically just saying that he was going off on Mike Tomlin for no reason. But Mike Tomlin is still a really good coach and stuff like that. And then there's other people out there, like Skip Bayless, saying that Big Ben's comments are because he misses football and he's nothing going on in his life, and he wants to kind of be remembered as the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. He misses it. He wants the team to miss him, and he goes along that kind of storyline saying how he believes the Steeler way is gone because he is gone, and he wants that to be the reason. Another thing Stephen A. Smith said was basically that the offense, ever since Big Ben's final years with the team, the offense had to rely on the defense, and it became more of a strictly defensive team where the defense has to carry the team. And he says that Big Ben is the reason why we feel comfortable doing that, in which the defense has to carry the offense, because that's what we were used to in the final few seasons with him, and just carried over until now, where the defense has to start doing good, or else the offense and the team has no chance of winning the game. And he believes if Big Ben didn't carry on that tradition, if he left a little bit earlier, in which this offense was still good, which doesn't make sense, because ever since his elbow surgery, that's when the offense started being bad. So that means that as soon as elbow surgery happened, he should have just retired right then, not made a return, and just been out for the rest of his career, not even try making a comeback. It just doesn't make sense. Yes, you could say the offense wasn't good, but what are you supposed to do? Not even attempt to come back after surgery. You're not even going to attempt to make a return, a comeback to the NFL, and you're just going to quit when you're down. He was still good in 2019. I mean, the year before 2019, I think it was 2018, 2019, where he went off for those yardage, and I believe he led the league in passing. And then the year after, he had his elbow injury. So what are you supposed to do? Just retire on the down note and retire? I guess some people want him to, some people didn't, whatever. But he didn't retire. He made a comeback. He played one extra year. He made the playoffs. He played another year after that. He made the playoffs. So it's not like he came back and was just a really bad quarterback. Yes, he was a kind of a shell of himself, and he wasn't what he used to be. But he's still someone who carried the Steelers to the playoffs and carried their offense. Without him at the quarterback position, their offense wouldn't do good. And you can see that now, because you can see the quarterback position kind of being the downfall of the Steelers team, and they don't know what to do, and having a veteran person in there, it would kind of help them and stuff like that. But these outlets, these media outlets, Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Michael Irvin, and all those shows that do these shows in the morning, talk about football, they're going off on Big Ben for his comments, saying that the Steeler way on offense is done. And if you actually look into it, and you actually think it is, I believe it's gone the Steeler way on offense, because the offense is nothing what it used to be. The offensive line, too many penalties, stuff like that. The wide receivers, they're too stubborn. The quarterbacks just don't know what they're doing. And that's what it is on the offense. And the offensive coaches don't know what they're doing either. But the defense, on the other hand, Big Ben never said anything about the defense. He said that they're still the Steeler way on the defense. And that I 100% believe in as well. So I believe these outlets are going too hard on him, and these comments are right. Ryan Clark basically said the exact same thing, and he didn't take no heat for it. So Big Ben's taking all his heat for no reason. But that is his comments. That's what's going on. That's what's in the news recently. Big Ben getting destroyed for exposing the Steelers away. It may be over for the offense. But with that being said, let me know down in the comments below. How do you feel about this? Do you believe he is right? Do you believe the Steeler way is finished? Or do you believe it's not on offense? And also, how do you feel about all these outlets and all these kind of media people saying all this stuff about Big Ben and what I basically said in this video? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well if you like serious content, analysis, reports. like the video, turn on post notifications down below for channel as well, so you get notified whenever I post next year's video. Every single day, I cover everything, so if you want to stay up to date with all news just like this one, or even film breakdowns and reactions, turn on notifications for this channel so you never miss out. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.